Good day, everyone. Welcome to Fancast Podcast. I am your host, Tabano Erica, together with my group who are Miday, Camba, Gaa, Reyes, Lopez, Bacornay, Crisostomo, Villamor, Leonor, Sarmiento, and Dacasa. We are here to talk about a short story entitled After 20 Years by O. Henry. After 20 Years is a short story by O. Henry about two friends, Jimmy Wells and Bob, who meet again after 20 years. The story explores friendship, loyalty, and time, with Jimmy becoming a successful police officer and Bob taking a darker path. It questions human nature, past relationships, and the impact of time in relationships. And the summary of the story is the story begins on a dark, windy night on a nearly deserted New York street. A police officer is patrolling when he comes across a man named Bob waiting outside the hardware store. Bob explains that he is waiting to meet an old friend, Jimmy Wells, with whom he made a pact 20 years earlier to meet at this spot, no matter where life took them. Bob shares his story, revealing his success in the West. The two reminisce briefly when Jimmy arrives, but after walking together, Bob realizes the man isn't his old friend. Instead, he is a plainclothes police officer sent by Jimmy to arrest Bob. The officer hands Bob a note from Jimmy explaining that he had recognized Bob as a wanted criminal but could not bring himself to arrest him personally.
Good day, my fellow listeners. Samantha Camba speaking in the mic. Let me explain to you all the title After 20 Years made by O. Henry. The title reflects how time changes people. Two friends, Bob and Jimmy, meet after 20 years, only to realize they have taken different paths. One becoming a criminal, and the other one a policeman. It highlights how time shapes fate. Let me introduce the characters. Bob, also known as Silky Bob, is a wealthy but wanted criminal who returns to meet his old friend. Jimmy Wells is a loyal but duty-bound policeman who recognized Bob as a criminal. And lastly, a plainclothes officer arrested Bob on Jimmy's behalf as Jimmy couldn't do it himself.
Hi everyone, my name is Bacornay John Raven. The story is all about time change people. The story emphasizes how time can change individuals. Bob and Jimmy took different paths in life, leading to contrasting values and lifestyle.
The twist is that Jimmy Wells Bob are friends. He is the police officer who arrests him. This relevant Jimmy loyalty despite his duty, Bob's temptation, and the depths of change, loyalty versus duty and honor. Jimmy's action demonstrate a countless mix friendship and law enforcement, how changing the story's central themes.
Hello everyone, this is Janina talking about how I view After 20 Years by O. Henry using moralist approach. In After 20 Years by O. Henry, the narrative explores the profound conflict between personal loyalty and professional duty, emphasizing the moral dilemma faced when these values collide. Through the characters of Jimmy Wells, the story illustrates the painful yet principled choice to prioritize one's ethical and societal responsibilities over personal relationship. Despite his deep friendship with Bob and the shared memories of their youth, Jimmy chooses to uphold his law and fulfill his duty as a police officer by ensuring Bob's arrest. This decision reflects the story's central argument. Through moral integrity often requires difficult sacrifices, including the betrayal of cherished bond in the service of the greater good. Jimmy's action demonstrates that loyalty to justice and moral responsibility ultimately outweigh personal allegiance when those values are at odds.
I am Tisha Sarmiento, and my opinion for your short story, and the title is The After 20 Years. My opinion is a masterfully crafted short story that excels in the use of irony, suspense, and character development. The narrative relentless in the unexpected twist, leaving the reader with a profound and sense of the surprise and the aircraft a touch of melancholy. The story effectiveness stems from the author's ability fulfilled the anticipation of the heartwarming reunion only to subvert expectation with the poignant revelation of the betrayal and the complexities of loyalty and friendship. The setting, a cool and humility, this city street at the night for Felicity complements the story's suspenseful atmosphere. The characters are well defined with the contrasting personality of Bob and Jimmy, highlighting the themes of the change and the passage of the time. The ending, while unexpected, feels but the fading and emotionally the restaurant. Thank you.
And we are here, guys, to telling you connection to today about the story after 20 years. Applying the moral lesson of after 20 years to your life means prioritizing your duties and values, considering the consequences of your actions, and being loyal but not blindly. It also involves embracing personal growth and change and doing what is right even if it's hard. And you continue, Sir Crisostomo?
By making choices that align with your principles and responsibilities, you can develop stronger sense of personal responsibility, integrity, and resilience, ultimately leading to more fulfilling and purpose-driven life.
Hey everyone, it's Anthony speaking. As we read about this story after 20 years, there are a lots of reflections that we encountered, and we are so interested about it. One of the reflections are the development of each character. Bob became a bad man, causing the Chicago cops to hunt him, while his friend Jimmy Wells became a successful cop in the New York. Like, wow! As we find out these events, we realize that the plot twist is really fascinating. Additionally, it gives us a lesson that we, ourselves, needs to be careful for all the things that we are doing, because these things might change our future and end up being haunted by our past. That's all, viewers. That's the wrap for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the conversations and took something valuable away from it. Again, we are the Fancast Podcast, and we hope to see you in our next episode. Bye!
Hey there, Sergio are speaking right now. As we know about the after 20 years, I have some perspective you might interest to hear it. In 20 years of our life, possibly there's a lot of changes happened in our life, in friendship, in our family, even in ourselves. Like in the story of 20 years ago, there's a promise they tell each other, but there's unsuccess, changes, and improvement. But in the 20 years, exploring the things you want to know about and help yourself to success in the future. However, people change time by time. The promises may forgot in the long time ago has passed. As we grow old, we discover about ourselves what we want for ourselves, or do we help ourselves in the situation we've been through. Friendship may outgrow depends on the people we know. We may turn a successful man or woman, or in the story turn out there's a change that unexpected from his friend. So don't really expect much from it, even though it was the person you've been with a long time ago.